Layers are truly the powerhouse tool in Photoshop. Layers give you a lot of control over what you're working with, how you're working with it, and whether you want to see it at all while you're working on other layers. The Layers panel lives over here, but if you don't see it, just go to the Window menu, choose Layers, and it will appear. I'll go ahead and click on Layers. And as usual, when I'm showing these lessons, I'll just go ahead and tear that right off so we can focus on this. And I'll go ahead and just push those guys in. Now, by default, whenever you open up a new file, Photoshop will put it on a layer called background and lock it, figuring that you're going to create new layers on top of that and then work from there. If you don't want this layer locked, simply double click anywhere on it, rename it if you'd like, and click OK. Now it's a regular layer. Now once again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it's a good idea if you want to really be able to put things underneath it and do all kinds of cool stuff. Now, something else I want to show you is how to create a brand new layer. You have this little icon down here on the bottom right, and when you click on it, it will create a brand new layer for you. And you can name it, of course, by double clicking where it says Layer 1. If you want to go a little faster in your workflow, you can hold down either the Alt or Option key and then click this guy, and then the New Layer dialog box opens, and it gives you the ability to name your layer right here. You can also give that layer a color if you want to. This is very handy if you're doing something that's pretty complicated and you want to see at a glance what it belongs to. An example of this, let's say you're doing a cityscape and you want to make sure that everything that's going to be like trees or leaves or grass has a green color. And every layer that's going to have buildings or whatever will be blue. And people will be, violet or whatever color you'd like. So you can look in your layers and see what belongs together. And I can go ahead and right click on this layer, by the way, and go to Layer Properties, and I can give it a color as well. So as you can see, we have these blue guys here, and I'll right click on this one and go to Layer Properties, and I'll make that one green. Now, what if you want to delete a layer? Well, just grab it and drag it to the garbage, or click on it and click on the garbage. You'll be asked if you really want to delete the layer. If you don't want to see this dialog, just click here again, and it will not appear. So I'll go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to show you one more way to actually duplicate a layer or create a new layer based on what you already have. Click on your layer and drag it right to the Create New Layer icon like so. And you can do that as many times as you like. Now what about when you have something the way you like it and you want to merge the layers down? Oftentimes when I'm working, I keep all the layers I have because I like to have a completely free document so I can go back at any time and make changes. But let's say your client wants you to send them a flat file. What I highly recommend you do is go to File, Save As, and name a version for yourself. So let's say I was doing something for a client named Bob. I would make a Save As version and call it My Copy, and then make another Save As and call it Bob's Copy. So then I have my preserved one all to myself with all of my layers intact. But let's say I do want to merge these two layers. So I click on the first layer, I hold down Shift, and now I can go to the menu, and I can choose to merge these layers. I can also choose to merge all visible layers, and to go ahead and flatten every single layer and just flatten the whole thing. They all do the same thing. So I can merge the selected layers that I have. I can merge visible, which is the same as flatten because they're all visible. But if I had one hidden like so, and I choose merge visible, it's going to leave this one alone because it's not visible to Photoshop. It has the eye off. And that is how you can work with your layers by adding them, deleting them, and merging them in the Layers panel.